course, our purpose was formed based off of the input of a lot of leadership within this company as Valaris was formed. And so because there was so much input from so many different people, I believe it's very fit for purpose, and that's obviously to provide responsible energy for the world. And the word responsible was very selective when we chose that word. Not just oil and gas, energy in general, but responsibly, we talk about the values around stewardship, things like that. It's about safeguarding the environment, and we have to be responsible in this industry. There's been so many events through the years that have given the industry just a negative impacts on the industry, a negative reputation, which I believe is a very safe, responsible industry. I think we show that day in and day out, just the way we work and behave with our crews offshore, and the fact that we can do it responsibly, and the world needs energy, will continue to need energy, and so the fact that we say that we will provide this energy responsibly, I think is different, and that's recognition from the senior leadership that we have an environmental responsibility, not only to our generation, but the next generation, which is why we talk about safeguarding the environment. I don't feel any are more significant than the other, to be honest with you. I think they're very well crafted, and each one kind of addresses a specific area where we need to focus on. And I think the people that live and work in this company, it's very easy to find. It very resonates. Operations, we always kind of roll back to, it's all about integrity, and that's the cornerstone, the foundation. I would never weigh one more than the other. We focus a lot on excellence. I focus a lot on excellence. Again, it's in our core, it's in our DNA that we want to provide a high, safe, efficient, reliable product, and we strive for excellence. And it's a healthy goal, and it's a healthy value to have. And time and time again, we have evidence where we are, right? And we shouldn't miss that. I think we need to do a little better job, really rewarding what I'll call excellence. One of the recent ones that came to mind was the DS-10 transiting from Nigeria to Las Palmas. Came across a boatload of refugees. We don't have a playbook for that, right? And a lot of people got involved in that and had a lot of conversations in the moment. And at the end of the day, we're like, listen, there's people, we act responsibility. Safety is a core value of ours. There's people in need. We called the right authorities. We stayed there till they were safe. Again, we're not in the rescue business for that, and we're not set up to do that, and we recognize that, right? Where a lot of times you would say, I'm gonna try to fix this situation, right? It's recognizing you can't fix some of these situations, but you can sure facilitate the outcome where it's more desirable for the people involved, right? And we really rely on having that mindset that as long as you line up with the values, it's going to be okay, and you're going to make the right decision, right? You'll never be second guessed about that, and it's what makes us work. So. We're a day rate company. We're subject to market conditions. Again, we have very, very high standards. We may not always be able to fund those standards, and you have to make difficult decisions along the way. That there's a give and take. There's puts and takes, whatever you want to call it. That certain things, I say we truly strive to be excellence. We may have to make some compromises along the way, because at the end of the day, we're also running a business, and we can't gold plate everything as much as we'd like to, and sometimes feel like we need to. But I think at the end of the day, that's okay, because we still deliver, right? And we still deliver at a very high level of reliability. And I have no doubt whatsoever that the senior leadership of this company would act if we weren't, right? And it's not about money or finance and all that. It's about balancing the needs of the business, understanding that we say we're going to be excellent. We say safety is a core value to us, and we're not going to deviate from that, and we never will. But there's times that you need to make decisions, right? And that's what's really kind of running the business portion of me. So there's no conflict, I would say. The values are there, and they're there to kind of guide us, while we still continue to run a business very successfully, right? And those are the two things we need to balance. So, now, I think the intent should remain constant. Sometimes we want to change the words from time to time, if you will. I mean, our workforce is constantly churning over, and there's a younger generation coming in that may not resonate with the same values that I have. I mean, I've been here, this is my 28th year, I think. And so I've seen the company evolve. Someone coming in today may not share the same history of that. And reality is it's going to become their company one day, not mine. And so I think the values are there as the guiding principles. The words can change. Again, I think the words should adapt over time with this. And I don't know what word we would change, but it's about staying relevant, staying constant with your workforce, being able to connect. We can't ever lose sight there. The majority of the people that work in this company live and work offshore. The men and women do that day in and day out. And so, the fact that they have as much input to the rest of us onshore support staff is very important to me, that they feel connected as well, right? It's fine if I do, sitting in my office here in Dubai, far away from the nearest rotary table per se, right? But if the men and the women that work offshore that actually deliver the product that we sell every day doesn't resonate with them, then we need to adapt.